And thank you very much. That was the commercial you just saw. That was Nerd Focus. That is one of our sponsors. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Football for Sunday pregame show. I'm your host, Shawn Stewart, alongside my co-host, Chris Wood. Usually we
Hey,
start at 10 o'clock, but we say, you know what, let's start at 10:15 so we can get a little more extra stuff. So how are you doing, my friend?
I am good, and you? Got plenty of football going on later today, and this is important games for a lot of teams.
Exactly. So right now I'm happy. At least my Wolverines won 59 to nothing. I know it was UConn, but hey, at least we're undefeated. But then also Thursday night football on Thursday's show, I did say Kansas City was going to win that game, which they did. And then the Chargers, again, I always say it's the second half, fourth quarter letdowns in which they did happen. And then it looks like Justin Herbert is suffering injury. It's not just only him. There's a couple of players that did suffer injury. So you got to think about if you're the Chargers right now, you think about your playoffs hope.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. I mean, he was having a good game until the pick six. I mean, that was 99 yards. I mean, that was an impressive pick six, but unfortunately, because it's the Chargers, usually it there's always something that happens to them, and I feel so bad for them. I really do.
It's like they're almost to that promised land, but all of a sudden it's just they got that snake bit, that got that curse, got them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they got cursed all right. I mean, and then Justin Herbert would later get
I think we have a little error. I think we have a little error. Yeah, I think we have a little error.
It was just so bad though, and I hope he's okay, but he might want to take him careful for about a week.
Right. So yeah, so the Chiefs are undefeated while the
I
Chargers are 1-1 in the AFC West. So let us
okay.
go on with the week two of the NFL as I'm looking at my tablet right now. Thank God I got this
All right, can
tablet.
you hear
So
me
if
now?
you have
Or
any, yes, I can hear you now. So guys, if you have any questions like your fantasy football or like an NFL related question, feel free to ask. And also, you can go on our website at Sports for America to play the new free to play platform of SuperDraft Pro, by the way. You can download it on your iPhone or Android. So you can just scan that big old QR code and same thing with the Nerd Focus. So go on our website at sportsforamerica.com. As a matter of fact, I'll post that link, by the way. So there's a couple of great games, by the way. So the one I'm looking at, I don't know why CBS is doing a doubleheader, but the game of the week for the earlier one is the Patriots and the Steelers. Now you know the Patriots lost the Dolphins, and then the Steelers won their rival opponent, the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are going to be facing the Cowboys later on. Now, as I look into this matchup between the Patriots and Steelers, I'm thinking like, this is a very much important win for the Patriots because not only like this game could be because I know it's a long season, I know that. But if you're like 0 and 2, especially in the AFC East, it's going to be possibly very be harder for you to get to the playoffs, especially when you have a new Miami Dolphins team that has been like the way Tua played, because Tua played like he was a magician or something like that. So this is like for me, this is very important for the Patriots to win this game. I think Chris didn't hear that. Chris, did you hear that?
Mhm.
Chris, are you still here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely agree. Patriots. This is definitely a big one for them, and not just for just this week, just for the rest of the season. Being 0-2. Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if the Patriots, I mean, if they lose this game to the Steelers, then they definitely would have to go back to the drawing board, and plus they would have to have to figure out the rest of the season. And since the Steelers won last, yeah, but since the Steelers won last week, they're definitely ahead of the curve now. This won't be an easy matchup for either one because you got to see which quarterback is going to rise to the occasion. Is it going to be Mac Jones, who struggled last week with the Dolphins? Is it going to be Trubisky Bengals off the hook like that and still expect to compete the rest of the season? So, still there, or
I'm still here now.
Shawn? Did I
Now
lose you?
between
Or
Mac Jones, yeah, still here. Now between Mac Jones and Trubisky, who you think will have a better performance between those two?
yeah, well, I'll just. That's the tough part. I would have gone with Mac Jones though, because I think Jones is a proven. Now Trubisky, even though he's proven, but he really doesn't win that often. So I think it's more important for Trubisky to get out in front of this. Mac Jones is still a young player, but even though he's a young player, he can still rise to the occasion as well. So the quarterback play will definitely determine who's going to win this game today between the Patriots and the Steelers. I would probably have my money on Mac Jones. Trubisky, I'm just not. There's something about his game that it's just off with Trubisky. But plus, the running
And then
game's going to
you
have to help out.
and then you also got to look at the Steelers defense, how they're going to do well without T.J. Watt. That's the other big question is if you're
Mm-hmm.
the Steelers defense.
Yeah, that's also a huge thing. I mean, I wish he was playing in this game, but Steelers will have to carry out without him, and so Mac Jones. I mean, he would have no excuse what if the Steelers don't have T.J. Watt playing. So this is a huge game for both teams, definitely, but we'll have to see who definitely comes out on top in this one.
Gotcha. So that's a 1 o'clock game that will be on CBS as well. And now you have another one that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. That's another big game. And I'm looking at this game because the Saints, they lost to the Atlanta. The
Hmm.
Saints did win, excuse me. Saints did win. I'm thinking Atlanta lost. Because I was like, oh, I mixed it up. No, so I'm thinking like this. It's like, all right, we know the Buccaneers won on Sunday night. We get that part. But then I'm looking at it right now. It's like the Buccaneers has lost all four regular season meetings with New Orleans with Brady at quarterback, and this is his opportunity to reverse that trend when these rivals meet at the Caesar Superdome, or we call it the Superdome. So if you have Tom Brady as your QB for fantasy football, you kind of wonder like what type of performance is he gonna have? And then you got Jameis Winston who had his injury because he's proven
Hmm.
himself. He's injury prone. He
Hmm.
can't even stay healthy. So if I'm thinking like this, I'm like, this is very important for both teams to win this game. But if I had to say, I was like, this would be more important for New Orleans than it is with the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers can make it to the playoffs regardless if they lose this game or not.
Definitely. More importantly, Tom Brady, he's 0-4 against the Saints, and for whatever reason, he's had trouble. Here's another important game for him. However, if he's going to reverse the trend, this would have to be it. Don't I mean I wouldn't wait for the second time around when they have to play him later this season. So with that being said, this is an important game for the Buccaneers. As far as the Saints are concerned, uh, yeah, James Winston he got hurt last week, and that's not really a good sign. And also too, I don't know if you're not aware of it. There was some breaking news this morning that they won't have Alvin Kamara running the ball for them in this game. So it may be Mark
Oh,
Ingram may have to uh, be running the ball for the Saints. And if the Saints ever needed a good running game, this would have to be it, especially after the close win against the Atlanta Falcons last week. So both teams are going to be kind of say like going with the mash unit because Brady won't have one of his receivers, Chris Godwin. he's out as well. So it's going to be basically it's going to be survival to finish in this one.
And then I look at Taysom Hill because it's four quarterback keepers, and he had like half of the Saints 151 rushing yards because his 81 yards were more than twice what Alvin Kamara, who is the second leading rusher, accumulated. So this could be like a do or die for both of these teams when you think about it.
Hmm. Oh, I agree. It's this is this might be a potentially a low scoring game if it comes to that, but you don't you want somebody to like get to at least 20 or maybe 30 points. It may take that to win this football game right here.
And then also you have to look at will the Bucks finish more drives in the end zone instead of kicking field goals because that's another one
Yeah, it
that the
definitely will not
Buccaneers
be a
struggled last
shootout
week.
by any means, though. I mean, it would have to take like a miracle for both offenses to suddenly rise up and emerge here.
And then you got to stop kicking those field goals instead of getting more touchdowns on the Buccaneers.
Yeah, their kick game it needs work, definitely, but we'll have to see what opportunities they get here. So the both Buccaneers, yeah, it's gonna right. Mm-hmm.
Then here's another one that
Always
is
a six
the
is better than it's better to get six than a three.
you doggone right. You best believe it. Now here's another one. It is the Dolphins and Ravens. Now you know Baltimore they beat the New York Jets, so it's like go figure. Everybody should know that. And then the Dolphins they defeated their rival opponent, the New England Patriots. Now this one to me is like a game of the week. By the way, I know
And
people
ready for
because
the
we
next one, or
say that again. I think we have. Hold on a second. I think we have a. Okay, thank you. Someone shared the post. Thank you very much, Cornelius. One of my people who work has a show called Die Hard Fan, which airs every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sports for America. So thank you, Cornelius, for sharing that post. I appreciate it. Now, as I was saying about the Dolphins and the Ravens game, this one to me, I can see this as like a shootout between these two quarterbacks, especially the way to a performance. But I would not be surprised if the Dolphins do win this game against the Ravens because my issue is with the Ravens is can Lamar Jackson be accurate and can the Ravens defense can stop Tua and Tyreek Hill? That's my only there's a couple of concerns I have if you're the Baltimore Ravens because last
oh,
season you
I
didn't
didn't
make it to the playoffs.
say anything. I was just listening to what you say. You were talking about uh, Dolphins and Ravens, so it's a huge game.
I think we kind of lost. I think we kind of lost Chris because of we have a connection issue. But all right, can you hear me? How about
Sean
this?
still
Try
there?
to yeah, I'm still here. Hey, try to get off and reconnect and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll wait till Sean gets back.
Hey, hold on a sec. Hey,
You're,
I mean, hold on a sec. Because I think it's wrong with this connection because my connection is look good. All right. So I asked them to try to leave back and then come right back. All right. So as you look into this game between the Dolphins and the Ravens, by the way, to me this is like game of the week because you have Lamar Jackson, you have Tua, and then also I was saying this like I am really concerned. Like if you're the Ravens, I'm concerned about how you're gonna let the Dolphins. Okay, hold on. Let me give somebody an invite real quick because I have somebody coming in. 'Cause I have so many people want to join in. It's- all right, there we go. All right, I invited somebody in. So as I was saying, was like this. It's like Tua, what the way his performance was, it really gave me more confidence than he did in previous years. Because I thought like the Dolphins drafted Tua. What the heck? All right, let's see what. All right, let's see what happens right now. See if it works. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, now it's better now. Now I was saying about the Dolphins and the Ravens. Now, what's your take on that?
I think this is a huge game for the Dolphins, definitely, and it's time for Tua Tagovailoa to really to try to see if he can be among one of the elite quarterbacks for once, because we already know Lamar Jackson is already one already now. Although it would be nice if he had a contract to go along with it, but that's a whole nother story. But
Right,
it's really time for Tua to step up and lead the Dolphins to greatness, and this has to happen not just beyond just this game, but beyond the rest of the season, because otherwise the Dolphins would have to go back to square one after this season.
right. And as a matter of fact, the Ravens lead the all-time regular season against Miami 8-7, including a 7-2 mark under coach John Harbaugh. The Ravens are 4-1 versus the Dolphins in Charm City, winning four straight matchups. That's
Wow.
wow. That's an interesting stat. And they did play in the playoffs before, so they're
Hmm.
not straight. They're not strangers between these two. So I look forward for that matchup as well. And
No.
then I'm also looking at another one as my tablet is coming up. By the way, another one is the Jets and the Browns. I know it's not exciting, but both teams are all on one. Of course, we already know what the New York Jets is. So, and then the Browns. I don't know what to say about them because I did not expect the Browns to beat the Carolina Panthers last week. I don't think nobody expected because everybody thought the Panthers was going to beat the Browns. So you have a Jets team that's 0-1, and you have the Browns team that's 1-0. This game is at Cleveland, by the way. So, and then the sad part is, if you're the Jets, you don't have Wilson, the quarterback for the Jets, because he's going to be sidelined for a couple of weeks. So if you're the Jets, to pulling off this Browns upset, what do you guys have to? If you're the Jets, what do you have to do to beat the Browns to pull off an upset? I think we lost him again. Doggone it. I think we lost Chris Wood again. Oh my goodness. So looks like we lost Chris again. Hold on a second. Or a matter of fact, we can do it on audio only. As a matter of fact, let me take a break real quick. All right. I think we kind of lost Chris Wood, but I actually invited another person to join with me to help us. By the way, so, I think we kind of lost him. By the way, so let me go with the Jets and Browns. By the way, so as I said before, the Browns defeated the Carolina Panthers. By the way, so as I'm looking at it right now, As the I'm looking at interesting stat right there. The Browns that won that last over last week against Baker Mayfield and the Panthers, and they're looking for the first 2-0 since 1993. Yes, since 1993. So this is according to covers.com. This is the first time if they win this game against the Browns defeat the Jets, it'll be the first time they've been 2-0 since 1993, by the way. So right now, the quarterback will be Joe Flacco for the New York Jets because Zach Wilson is injured, by the way. So the Browns earned their first week one since 2004 over the Panthers last week, and Flacco threw for 59 times in New York's 24-9 defeat to the Ravens, and he completed 37 passes and he averaged only 5.2 yards per game because he had one touchdown interception ratio, and that's like a long trip to the end zone coming in garbage time, by the way. So with the Jets, by the way, offensive line, you have McCall Bacon and Dwayne Brown. They're injured, and with a 30 disappointing 23rd in week one by pressure down on passes by 20 out of 62 or 32.2. That could be like a monster day for Miles Garrett because he had like 2 sacks and forced a fumble last week, by the way. So Chubb, he had like 146 yards, 22 carries in week one, picking up 6 first downs and breaking off 2 scramblers out of 20 yards or more. And as Kareem Hunt had like 46 yards and a touchdown or 11 rushing and added 24 yards and another scoring on 4 pass reception. So the least the Jets did do was they did contend the Ravens running game that missed J.K. Dobbins, which is like tall order, and the Jets struggled against tailbacks last season because they allowed the fourth most rushing yards and the second highest receiving yards in the NFL as well. All right, so let's try this again. Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear it. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And I was talking about the Jets and the Browns game.
Okay. I think that because the Jets don't have Zach Wilson, they may run into some problems with the Browns, and even though the Browns won last week and they proved they could beat Baker Mayfield and all that hype that was going on, so the Browns they did what they were supposed to do. They won their game, but uh, they still are got an uphill battle in the AFC North right now. So this game it's not great on paper, but this could be potentially a low scoring game if. And I don't know. And Joe Flacco. I mean, he's had some success against the Browns through his career, but it's a different story when he's on a different uniform. So the Jets
Exactly.
may potentially run into some problems here with the Browns defense.
And if the Browns do win this game, this will be the first time they'll be 2-0 since 1993. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I expect this to be a low scoring game between Jets and Browns on this one here.
It would be shocking if it was like a high score game. It would be a shock. But yeah, I agree with you that that should be a low scoring game between these two. Now the next one.
That that was pretty much it on.
Now here's another one. You have the Indianapolis Colts and
Mhm.
the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the Colts have not won in Jacksonville since
Wow,
2014. That was Andrew
that's
Luck.
crazy.
Like I remember it. I remember
1993.
like
That was a long
exactly,
time ago.
exactly. And then with the Indianapolis Colts, they haven't beat Jacksonville at Jacksonville since 2014 because that was the last of that season. The Colts did
Yes.
make it to the AFC Championship game. Of course, they lost to the Patriots. So The good news is at least at least the Colts will play Jacksonville early in the season at Jacksonville than it is they did last season. So that's the good thing. But the other thing was the Colts did not lose. The game was ended in a tie against the Houston Texans. So this one, and then also you got Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman is injured, so he's out for this game as well. So I kind of see Jacksonville winning this game against the Colts to get their first W, even though they almost did pull a win against Washington, which that didn't happen. So I expect Jacksonville will get their first W against the Colts.
Mm-hmm. Again.
I did say that. I think we had some technical issues, by the way. I think we had some technical issues on his end, not on my end. Let me see if somebody.
Okay. While I wait for my buddy Sean to come back,
I'm still here.
he was talking about Colts and Jaguars. It's been a
Correct.
while since the Colts have won in Jacksonville. That's 2014. That's a long time
2014.
ago.
It is.
Andrew Luck was still playing there. The Colts have got several quarterbacks since then. That is Colts
Exactly.
quarterback back then was Carson Wentz. Now it was important to note that
Because I think we have like a ish connection on his end than mine. Because mine's
to win
very
this
strong.
game. Otherwise, they would have ended up in the playoffs. Sean, you back or?
I'm still here. I'm still here. I got the strong connection.
Hmm.
Because it looks like it's coming from your end. Because my end is very strong. They try to find a place where you can have a. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm gonna move this right here and see if he comes back. All right. So it's not from my end. It's coming from his end because my end is I have a very strong connection. So if you have paid attention this offseason, the Jaguars do have a new person on their roster that is Christian Kirk because he did had a slow start last week, but by the end, it looked like he was targeted 12 times. All right. Now Kirk has played 51 of his 64 snaps from the slot and all because he converted six catches into 117 yards. And he was also third across the NFL for air yards with 128, just behind Devontae Adams and Brandon Cooks. That's a very interesting stat right there. Now, Cooks did face the Colts secondary last week and had a big day because he did have 82 yards and 131 air yards. And now he's going to face a same defense that's coming off a day in which he played 91% of those snaps. And he's going to have like more likely a game script favoring passing with the Jags like to play from behind. So Jaguars always do because they've been doing that for quite some time. So right now, that's a 1 o'clock game. So that's a 1 o'clock game as well. And let's see, it's a couple of games by the way. So it's 10:45. So also you got the you got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cowboys. You also have the Cardinals and Raiders. Okay, he do have the okay. All right, so I expect to have Brian Snow to come with me as well because we only have 15 more minutes, by the way. So we have a couple of games. We have the Seahawks and the 49ers, Falcons and Rams. That's a 4:05 game. Texans and Broncos. That's a late game. And then also for Sunday night, it's going to be the Bears and the Packers. And it's going to be two Monday Night Football games. We have the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills, and that's a 7:15 p.m. And then the 8:30 p.m. that'll be the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. So both of those games will be on Monday night as well. So sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Things happen like this. We're about to do the. So it looks like right now we can get started with the. Oh, it's connected 69%. Okay, that's not bad. So it looks like we can do the. As soon as another person comes in, we can do the player props as well. Because if none of them don't show, then I'll post it on the Facebook post as well. So it looks like let's just take another break, by the way. So here we go. All right. Once again, that was the commercial for the SuperDraft Pro, which I am a part of, and also Nerd Focus, which I'm also a part of. So head on to our website at sports, the number four, America.com. Go on our website, then scan that QR code for both of them, by the way. And then once to scan on your phone because it's a big QR code. So that's the great thing about that QR code. But make sure you get it good enough for it to scan, by the way. Also, that QR code, as you see on the right, that is for the SuperDraft Pro, by the way. So just letting you know about that as well. So if you see that, if you see that QR code, yeah, so if you see that QR code on the right when I do my show, that QR code is for the SuperDraft Pro. So if you have like a tablet, it will be able to scan. But if you have like a phone, you're going to have to full screen that. Okay. So right now I just got the message saying he'll just listen to the show online. He'll get a so he'll watch online because it looks to me that there's going to be a bad connection as well. So yeah, I didn't expect this show to be as it is right now because I thought the show would be better, but sometimes bad things come unexpected. So I'm looking for Brian Snow to join with me because it looks like me and him will do the player props. So, all right. So I just sent him an invite as well. So I have the player prop for the 1 o'clock to 4:25 games, and then after that we have the Sunday night football, and then also we got the Monday night football player props as well. So we have like six of those. I think so. I have five for Sunday night football, and then I have six for Monday night and the early games. Let's see. Got So, as I am looking at this player props, by the way, you know what? Let's do the overall total right now. So, right now you have the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, on the sports book, they said it is 40 and a half. Now, I looked at this number and said, wow, it would be surprising it would be more than 40. So, I am going to take the under as I'm going to put it on my tab on my phone right now. So, I'm going to take the under at that as well because I'm going to give you six games. Okay, so I'm going to take the under as that as well. All right, I got them. Accepted. All right. The next one will be the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. Now, Saquon Barkley got Baker Mayfield. It would be surprising. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this as more than 43 and a half. I'm going to take the 43 and a half on this one. So that's number two. Then, number three, you have the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to take the under on the 43 and a half, but I don't see this as a high scoring game between these two. I really don't see that. So I'm going to take the under in this one. And plus, Michael Pittman is not injured. And then if you stop the Colts running game, then the Colts offense is just trash. All right. Next one, you have the Jets and the Browns. I'm going to take this as a under because again, Zach Wilson is not playing because he's injured, and you got Joe Flacco. So I'm going to take that as the under 39 as well. And then let's see, you got the Dolphins. I'm just see how many games I got. Let's see, there's one, two, three, four. Let's see, this is one, two, three. Give me a second. One, two, three, four. Okay, so I got two more. I got two more. So I got two more. Then we're going to go with two more, by the way, as this thing will load up. Okay, there we go. I got two more. We got the Titans and the Bills. It says 47. I'm going to go with. I'll probably be shocked with this. I'm probably going to go over 47 on this one. I'm going to go over 47 on this one. I want to take the over on this one. And then finally, we'll do the Bears and the Packers. Now, I believe this game will be, the total will go under because let's be honest, I know the Packers are really pissed off from last week when they lost against the Minnesota Vikings, and then the Bears, they defeated the San Francisco 49ers, which it was unexpected. I would never thought the Bears would beat the 49ers. Exactly. I don't think nobody would, unless you're a fan of the Bears. So I am going to take the under. Now, you, come on, phone. Oh, wrong one. Oh, good heavens. Come on. But yeah, I'm going to take the under for the game as well. So once again, we apologize for the delay because I would have never thought that the connection would be this bad on on Chris's end. But with me, the connection is smooth on my end as well. All right. So we're going to show this advertiser one more time, and then we'll close it out if nobody else is showing. Looks like nobody didn't show, huh? So it looks like I didn't do well. We won't be able to time to do the player props as well. So it looks like we're going to have to end this broadcast. So I will see you guys this Tuesday at 7. Yes, 7 to 8. It's Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So there will be no guests. So it will be just me and my co-host all week long for a 1 hour show as well. All right. So you guys have a nice and wonderful day.